if Joel Embiid said that he was taking his wife and he was going on a trip to Barbados, I'd be scared he was going to step on a rock and be gone for the season.
Joel Embiid may have made a career-ending decision. On January 31st, in a loss against the Golden State Warriors, Joel Embiid suffered a meniscus tear after Jonathan Kuminga fell on his knee. Since Joel has been out with the knee injury, the 76ers are just 9-17, and they have fallen from the 3rd seed to now tied for the 5th and 6th seed. Joel Embiid is the lifeline of this team, and they just don't have enough talent to keep them afloat while he's out. Currently, they have a win percentage of just 34%, and with 20 more games to go in the season, using this win percentage they have now, they will likely go 7-13 to end the season, which can cause the Sixers to finish as low as the 7th or 8th seed. But why is that important? Because Joel Embiid and the 76ers front office want him back before the end of the season.
They still are optimistic that they can get him back. I think there's some hope, that they can get him back on the court by sometime in late March.
Embiid even says he doesn't care if it's the middle of the playoffs. He's coming back as soon as he's ready, no matter what.
I only have about 20 years to do this, so any chances that I get, I want to be on the floor. So it doesn't matter where we are. I don't know, 4, 5, 3, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
To understand the magnitude of the risk that's associated with this decision and how much weight it carries, let me put things into perspective. Or better yet, I'll let one of the best sport doctors in Philadelphia explain it.
So the soft cartilage is called the meniscus, and it's very easy to tear them with any twisting or jumping or landing, as you saw that injury occurred maybe with a landing. And then there's another type of cartilage called the articular cartilage, which can also be injured as this soft cartilage gets torn. So I understand that he has a flap tear, which is simply, if you will, a flap of this piece gets caught in between the bones and can cause symptoms like catching, locking, sharp pain, swelling. But worse, it can damage the articular cartilage, which is the end of the thigh bone or the top of the leg bone, and that creates a more complicated scenario.
As you heard, the meniscus is cartilage between your knee joint. And one thing to know about cartilage is that it does not grow back. We don't know what the extent of Joel Embiid's injury is or the exact details, like how big the tear was. We just know the 76ers are hoping for Joel to come back at the end of this month. And that may cause a massive problem. Because Joel Embiid, over the course of his 7-year career in the NBA, has missed over 180 games due to multiple foot, knee, and hip injuries. Joel Embiid is a phenomenally talented player, but he's also extremely injury prone. So is asking a 7-foot, almost 300-pound injury-prone guy to rush back so soon after suffering a really bad knee injury that may sideline him until the start of the playoffs really the smartest thing to do? Outside of the chance that he can re-injure himself, or even worse, injure himself in a much more problematic way, just how bad will his pain be when he gets back on the court? How's his conditioning going to be? I'm not an expert, but it's probably going to be pretty hard to stay in game shape while you're recovering from a knee surgery. So if his conditioning isn't great, are you going to place him on a minutes restriction in the playoffs? Or do you just not care as long as Joel Embiid is playing? Whether he's at 60%, 70%, or maybe he's even at 80% if we're being optimistic. I've never had a major knee surgery, but I imagine being thrown into playoff intensity basketball games would be pretty rough, especially with the physicality that comes with playoff basketball. And me personally, I just don't think it's worth risking Joel Embiid's health. Let's say worst case scenario, you fall to the 7th or 10th seed, somewhere in that range. Okay, it's a 1-game elimination against likely the Hawks, Bulls, or Pacers. But do you really want to see Boston or Milwaukee in the first round? What's the point? The 76ers were going to have a tough time against those teams even if Joel Embiid was healthy. Not saying the 76ers had no chance of beating the Celtics or the Bucks, but they do have absolutely no chance with Joel Embiid not being at 100%. So my question to the 76ers and 76ers fans is it worth risking another Joel Embiid injury for a first round exit? Or Would you rather let him get a full offseason to recover and take another swing at it next year? Leave a comment and let me know. And don't forget to subscribe.